Welcome, my name is Ms. Emily. I am a librarian at the Mooresville Public Library in Mooresville, Indiana, and I'm happy you're with us today. Hi friends, I hope you're hungry. Today we'll be making pizza roll-ups as our program. So the very first thing we're going to do before we get started is wash our hands. And I've already done that, but I'm going to put on some hand sanitizer just to be extra clean. Okay friends, pizza roll-ups are a tasty, easy, no-cook snack that you can make, or you can add some things to make it a meal if you're looking for a quick lunch. And it's very customizable, so you can do lots of different things and put different ingredients together to make it taste the way you like it. So the first thing you'll need are a tortilla or a wrap. So they make these wraps that are like sun-dried tomato or spinach flavored. They're red or green. You can use a plain tortilla. I'm going to use the tomato one today. And then you need some kind of spread. I brought pesto. I really like pesto. It is made from basil. It is an herb, and it is mixed together with Parmesan cheese and garlic and olive oil and sometimes pine nuts or other kinds of nuts. And I think it just brings a lot of, this is kind of my secret ingredient that makes this really, really tasty. If you don't like basil, that's okay. If you have another kind of like a red pepper spread or like a hummus, like a red pepper hummus or just regular garlic hummus would be tasty. Maybe ricotta cheese. If you've ever had that, it's kind of creamy. That would be tasty on here. Maybe you're making like a chicken barbecue kind of pizza. You can use barbecue sauce here. That would be tasty too. But I'm going to use pesto. And you just need, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or so to spread around. Mine has oil on top, so I am stirring it together. And I'm just going to take a good spoonful here. And I'm going to spread it around on the tortilla on kind of the bottom third. Like the top third is going to get wrapped up. And I don't want kind of gooey sauce on the very top. Yeah. So I've got, oh, it smells so tasty. I really like that. So I've got it maybe 3/4 of the way on my tortilla. And then I'm going to add some cheese. Pizza always has to have cheese, right? So you can use provolone, you could use cheddar. I had in my kitchen Swiss, but provolone would probably be really good. Mozzarella is pretty traditional. All kinds of different ones. And if you have pre-sliced cheese, it's easy. I just put 2 slices on. But you could slice it from a block as well. So I'm just going to put kind of one here and one here. So it looks like that. And then you can put on your toppings. So what kind of pizza toppings do you like? Do you like pepperoni? Maybe you like mushrooms, olives, green peppers, onions. Anything that you would put on a pizza, you could put on your wrap as well. I'm just going to keep it simple today. All I brought with me is pepperoni. So I'm going to take some and just spread it out on my wrap. I'm using about, I don't know, 8 pieces, something like that. No big deal. It doesn't have to be all clumped together. It can be spread out like that. And then what I suggest here is to put a handful of fresh spinach on, or some kind of lettuce. It gives it a really nice crunch, and it tastes really good. It gives you some extra vitamins, which is always a good idea. but I walked out of the house this morning without my spinach. I brought everything else except for the spinach, unfortunately, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but I'm just going to make a plain one, which you can do too if you really don't like spinach or any other kind of green. That's all right. And I'm just going to wrap my pizza roll really tightly. I'm going to try to get it as tightly rolled as possible. It's easier with spinach or another lettuce because it takes up a little more space. So I wrap it up. See my extra spot that doesn't have sauce on it makes a nice roll like that. And you could, if you are at home alone or you don't have a grown-up who's available to help you, you could just eat it like this. That's totally fine. You could eat it like a burrito. But I think it's kind of fun to be able to pick up your pieces and have kind of bite-sized pieces. So I cut mine into the roll-ups. So I use a sharp knife, so make sure that you get help from your grown-up at this point if you need help with a knife. Sometimes I've seen they have those plastic lettuce knives. That might be a good option for you if you aren't ready to use a really sharp knife yet. That's okay. So I cut it into like 1-inch pieces. I start in the middle and then I do ones like this. And if it starts to unroll like that, that's okay. You can just keep sticking them together. You could use toothpicks if you really wanted to keep your rolls together. They do seem to stay together better when you have the lettuce in it. So that's what my problem is here today. Just rolling it up. You could put the open roll part on the bottom. That would probably help too. If your end pieces are kind of floppy because they don't have a whole lot of stuff in them, that's all right. It's all gonna taste the same. Scooch that underneath. There we go. So now I've got my lovely pizza rolls. They look like that. They've got some spiraling ingredients on the inside. And to eat them, you might be thinking, you forgot the pizza sauce, because that's awesome. Pizza sauce is what you dip them in. I love to have a food that you can dip. So I'm just going to put a little bit in my bowl here. I don't know, maybe 1/4 of a cup. You can always pour yourself some more if you run out. And I'm going to put that on my plate with my rolls. Tasty. And when you're ready to eat, you can just dip them in. To make this more of a meal, or if you like something extra on the side, you can also put some vegetables or a piece of fruit on the side. Vegetables like green pepper or carrots or celery are really tasty when you dip them in your pizza sauce as well. So that's another way to make it a little heartier and give you a little extra to make it more of a lunch than a snack. And that's it. See how easy that was? So this week we didn't have a ton for your packet. All we have is the recipe card that you can pick up at the library, or you can print from our virtual programming page. Because most of the food that we're using is fresh, and because it's so customizable, you can do different things depending on what you like. We didn't want to put together a packet of food for you to take home. So these are things that you can shop for at the grocery store. Maybe you already have some of them in your house. As always, I have some books to suggest for you, books that I found here at the library that have to do with cooking and putting together your own snacks and meals. The first two are from the same series. They are super simple. So I pulled lunches and snacks. They have other books in this series as well. And as it says, it is just super simple foods that you can make that you might enjoy. Things like the Fruit Slurp Slushy. That sounds really good. And in the lunches one, I saw, which one did I think looked good? Oh, another pinwheel, roll-up meal, ham and cheese pinwheel. So if you're not in the mood for pizza, maybe you'll have a hankering for something like ham and cheese. I also saw this really great one called Easy Lunches from Around the World. So this one has kind of an international flavor. So if you like different foods from different countries, like I do, you might find some good ideas in this one. They have things like quesadillas, which are pretty common here, or even banh mi sandwiches, which are from Vietnam. Maybe you're less familiar with some of those, but it's, again, very simple and lots of great tips and tricks on how to make them really tasty. The next one, going with the pizza theme, is grilled pizza sandwich and other vegetarian recipes. So if you're vegetarian, or even if you're not, you might find some good things in there. One that I saw that looked really good that I might try are the peanut butter and jelly muffins. That sounded pretty tasty. And then another book which has a little bit more intricate recipes, but if you're older or if you're cooking with your adult, this might be good. And I've made some of the recipes in this book. It's called Teens Cook: How to Cook What You Want to Eat. And two that I recommend personally are the Sloppy Joes. They have a really good Sloppy Joe recipe that is makes enough for the whole family. So maybe you're in charge of dinner one night. That would be pretty cool. And then one that I haven't tried that I want to is the banana cream pie. Doesn't that look delicious? Oh, yum. So if you like to cook, some of these books from the children's section, or even look in the adult section and work with your grown-up to start making some things in the kitchen. It's a lot of fun and it's really rewarding. So thanks for joining me for pizza roll-ups. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you customize it to make it what you like to eat. And I'd love to hear what kind of combinations that you put together for your pizza roll-ups. Thank you. See you later.